6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Zahra Sikandar. First, the headlines. Deputy Prime Minister says several nations have expressed interest in signing defense agreements with Pakistan on the patron of Saudi Arabia. Acting President has termed parliamentary diplomacy as significant in promoting regional peace and cooperation. Pakistan and Kazakhstan have agreed to enhance cooperation in arts and culture. APHC has urged the United Nations to prevent India from pursuing Hindutva agenda in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Security forces have killed 7 Indian-sponsored terrorists in Balutistan's Shirani district. And in ICC Women's One Day International World Cup, England beats South Africa by 10 wickets in India today. And now the news in detail. Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar has said several nations, both Arab and non-Arab Islamic countries, have expressed interest in signing agreements with Pakistan modeled after a strategic mutual defense agreement with Saudi Arabia. Speaking on the floor of National Assembly today, he said the defense agreement with Saudi Arabia is a great honor for Pakistan as it becomes part of defenders of Herman Shufen. The Deputy Prime Minister expressed confidence that Pakistan will one day lead the Islamic world and emphasized that while Pakistan is already a nuclear and missile power, it must now strive to become an economic power as well. Talking about the crisis in Gaza, Ishaq Dar reiterated Pakistan's unwavering demand for an independent and sovereign Palestinian state with Al-Quds Al-Sharif as its capital. He ruled out any deviation from Quaid-e-Azam Mohammad Ali Jinnah's policy on Palestine. On the arrest of former Senator Mushtaq Ahmed Khan and other Pakistani citizens detained by Israeli authorities, Ishaq Dar assured the House that all possible measures are being taken to ensure the safe recovery and return of all detained Pakistanis. The House will now meet on Monday at 5 in the evening. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar has underscored the importance of regional connectivity in driving economic growth, enhancing trade, and strengthening cultural ties. He was during a briefing session with resident ambassadors and representatives of international organizations about the upcoming Regional Transport Ministers Conference scheduled to be held in Islamabad on 23rd and 24th of this month. The Deputy Prime Minister said the region holds immense potential for fostering cooperation and development through shared infrastructure. He also expressed the hope that regional countries will fully participate in the conference. Members of the British House of Lords, Lord Shafaq Mohammed, and former member of the European Parliament, Barrister Tanveer Hussain and Chaudhry Mehboob Hussain, called on Acting President Sayyid Yusuf Raza Gilani in Islamabad today. During the meeting, matters relating to Pakistani community in the United Kingdom, the situation in Azad Jammu and Kashmir, and ongoing relief and rehabilitation efforts in flood-affected areas of AJK were discussed. Lord Shafaq Mohammed informed the acting president that has raised the issue of India's suspension of Indus Waters Treaty in the House of Lords. The acting president appreciated the delegation's efforts to highlight issues of national concern and their continued support for the Pakistani community abroad. Pakistan and United Arab Emirates have agreed to bolster a partnership on modernizing rail infrastructure and promote regional connectivity. The commitment was expressed during a meeting between Minister of State for Finance and Railways Bilal Azarkiani and the United Arab Emirates Minister of Energy and Infrastructure Suhail Mohammed Al Marzurai in Abu Dhabi today. During the meeting, both sides discussed opportunities to strengthen cooperation in upgrading Pakistan's rail network with the aim of boosting trade, enhancing connectivity, and supporting sustainable economic growth. The ministers reaffirmed strongly brotherly ties between both countries and expressed their shared commitment to advancing mutual prosperity and promoting environmentally responsible transport solutions in the region. President Abdel Zardari and Prime Minister Mohammed Shahbaz Sharif have expressed government's commitment to eradicate the scourge of terrorism from the country, and there are separate statements on killing of 7 Indian-sponsored terrorists by security forces in Shirani district of Bulletin. They said the government will not let the elements succeed who want to harm the integrity of Pakistan. The President said the people and armed forces of Pakistan stand shoulder to shoulder for the eradication of terrorism. He expressed the resolve that the state would continue to take every possible step to protect its citizens and establish peace. The Prime Minister lauded the security forces for killing the terrorists. During the conduct of Operation, armed forces effectively exchanged the terrorist location, and after an intense fire exchange, Indian-sponsored terrorists were sent to hell. Weapons, ammunition, and explosives were also recovered from the terrorists who remained actively involved in numerous activities in the area. Pakistan and Kazakhstan have agreed to enhance cooperation in arts and culture. The agreement was reached at a meeting between advisor to Pakistan's National Heritage and Culture Division, Osman Khan, and Kazakhstan Ambassador Yarzay Kistefan in Islamabad today. Usman Shah highlighted the importance of culture and educational exchanges in strengthening bilateral ties and mutual understanding. Kazakh ambassador said his country is preparing plans to deepen cooperation and collaboration, including a proposal to co-produce a film on shared cultural heritage. Both sides also discussed a joint cultural roadmap. A delegation of the World Bank, led by a practicing manager for water, Michael Hannay, held a meeting with Sindh Minister for Irrigation, Jam Khan Shoro, in Karachi. The meeting focused on discussing the ongoing flood situation in the country, particularly Sindh. The minister lauded the World Bank's cooperation for supporting Pakistan, especially Sindh, during the difficult times. This is Radio Pakistan. All parties through conferences urged the United Nations to prevent Indian government from pursuing the Hindutva agenda in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a statement in Srinagar, APHC spokesperson Abdul Rashid Minhas said the future of Kashmiris is associated with the resolution of Kashmir dispute. He called upon the United Nations to push for a peaceful settlement of the lingering Kashmir dispute in accordance with the Security Council resolutions and will of the Kashmir people. Meanwhile, talking to reporters in Islamabad district, People's Democratic Party President Mehbooba Mufti said the Indian government is treating Kashmir people as criminals. She also stated that people are being sacked from service and labeled as anti-India. Mehbooba Mufti said there can be ideological differences, but that should not result in adoption of an inhumane attitude. She said dialogue is the only way to resolve the issues. In Gaza, at least 22 people were martyred in Israeli attacks today. Those martyred include 16 in Gaza City and 9 in Al-Mawasi and Ansar areas. Meanwhile, Israel's foreign ministry says it deported 4 Italian citizens who joined the global Summit flotilla and is preparing to expel the rest of the activists. On the other hand, Israeli military intercepted the last boat in the 8th flotilla attempting to reach blockaded Gaza today. The organizers of the Global Summit flotilla said the Marinade was intercepted some 42 nautical miles from Gaza. UNICEF says mothers and newborn babies at Nasser Hospital in Gaza are facing dire conditions as medical resources are running out. UNICEF spokesperson James Alder told reporters in Geneva via video link from Gaza that the situation for mothers and newborns in Gaza has never been worse. In Syria, an indirect vote is being held on Sunday to establish first parliament since Bashar al-Assad was ousted. The election is an indirect one with regional electoral colleges made up of combined 6,000 electors set to pick 2/3 of the 210-seat parliament. A committee appointed by President Ahmed al-Shura has approved 1,570 candidates. Germany is celebrating German Unity Day today. On this day in 1990, East Germany and West Germany united to become the Federal Republic of Germany. ending a separation of the two since World War II. Each year on this day, one of the federal states organizes a larger official festival in its state capital. This year's main event is being held in the city of Saarbrücken in state of Saarland. The Church of England has appointed first ever female archbishop. 63 years old Sarah Mullally is a former chief nursing officer for England, follows 105 men who have led Anglicans worldwide. Naming a woman to the position is a major milestone for a church that ordained its first female priest in 1994 and its first female bishop in 2015. In ICC Women's One-Day International World Cup, England beat South Africa by 10 wickets in India today. Batting first, South Africa were all out at 69 runs. In reply, England achieved the target without any loss at 14.1 overs. And finally, the weather. Partly cloudy weather with rain, wind, storm and thunder showers likely at isolated places in Islamabad, Port-Har region, northeast Punjab, lower Sindh, upper and central Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir during the next 12 hours. Dry weather is likely to prevail in other parts of the country. And this brings us to the end of the bulletin. For more news and analysis, visit our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.